Hi everyone, welcome back to HowTechs. Today we have the LG G6 and we're going to do an unboxing. This is the black model and made in Korea. Let's take a look inside. We have a microfiber cloth covering it up, and here's the phone on this nice tray. So this phone is only a 5.7-inch screen, but it's that super long aspect ratio, so it's 18:9 instead of 16:9, and only 163 grams. Build quality feels really good. One of the first things you notice right out of the box are these rounded corners, and apparently that helps quite a bit with the strength of the phone. So if you drop it, it's less likely to crack without the pointed corners, which will take the impact. So just a quick look around. We have volume buttons up here. We have a USB-C connector, speaker grill, microphone. SIM tray is here on the side, and this is a pretty wide one. So it's a dual SIM with the micro SD card as well. So we have a headphone jack here on top, and then also a microphone on the top. We have the front-facing camera, earpiece, some proximity sensors. Then on the back we have, of course, the awesome dual cameras, and you can kind of see the difference between them. One is a wide-angle lens, the other one is a narrow-angle lens, and obviously flash and fingerprint sensor here below. So that's it for the hardware. Let's take a look at the rest of the box. We have some documentation, which apparently has the SIM removal tool in there. We won't take that out. Some promo stuff. We have the power brick, which of course is fast charging. Our version is for the UK plug, and this is 9 volts. What else we got? So we have USB-A to USB-C cable in white, and earphones, and we have some nice in-ear buds with a braided cable. Okay, great. So let's power this guy up. So let's power this up and take a quick walkthrough. So on the sides there's no power button like you might normally see on a phone, but the fingerprint sensor on the back is actually a physical button. So that's how you turn this on and off. And it's quite fast to load up, actually. Okay, so there we have it. Not that bad. Actually, the phone boots up pretty fast. And of course there's all the required Android things to agree to and information they require, but here we basically are. So let's open up the settings about the phone. So here we have, so with Android 7.0 as recent as March, and we can see the specific software version for the LG. So here on the Android release that comes on this LG phone, we have basically no physical buttons, just these soft buttons here, and all the apps that come preloaded are in these folders. So we have obviously some social media ones, management, etc., all your favorite Google apps. So let's just take a quick look at YouTube. So one key feature of this phone is it has this super wide screen that's not very tall. So this is a 18:9 aspect ratio, but the widescreen of most YouTube videos is actually 16:9. So you're going to notice these black bars you can see here on the sides. So it's just something to be aware of. So for most video content, the actual screen real estate will not all be used. You can probably scale this out a little bit, but then of course you'll lose some information on the top and bottom. So just keep that in mind. The wide aspect ratio is great if you're doing multitasking and other things, or reading through email, but for certain things like video, actually is not as good. So since we just mentioned it, let's actually try the multi-window to take advantage of this long screen. So in order to get to it, you want to go to this box icon here, which is your task manager, and on each app that you have open, there's this 2 boxes, which actually is the split screen. So if you click on that, it will get it into split screen mode, and you can pick what you want on the bottom. So let's do Chrome on the bottom. So we have YouTube running here and Chrome on the bottom. And let's actually adjust this. So this is actually pretty useful too. So especially when we're watching a video, but for some reason I can't, I guess it won't let me actually do it all the way. So for some reason there's actually a letterboxing it, I guess, and I can't shrink it anymore, but that's not the end of the world, I guess. As you can see, basically both apps can run simultaneously. And if you, so you'll notice also that this icon here, which used to be a box, is now 2 boxes to show that it's a split screen. And if you want to get out of it, you can just basically double click on it. Okay. And so that's the basics on the software and some of the features. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the camera, since that's one of the highlights of this phone. So first thing you notice right off the bat is that the entire screen is the viewfinder, and there's basically a narrow view and widescreen view that uses the 2 different lenses here on the back. And you can take a photo by hitting the shutter button, and obviously also take video. And it actually allows you to switch on the fly while recording, and you can also zoom in and out while recording. And like many Android phones, you can actually pause, reset, and then take another segment, all within the same video file. So that's pretty handy. And you can also take stills while recording video. So options wise, we can do square mode for Instagram, manual mode, which is really detailed. I can show you the autofocus zones and all of the white balance, focus mode, etc. And then also manual video, which gives you things like obviously the frames per second, microphone output, etc. So that's really cool. Let's go back to auto. Comes with some useless filters. So in mode you have things like panorama mode, 360 panorama mode, special food mode, time lapse, slow-mo, etc. and pop out, which I think is kind of useless, but basically sort of does this feature where I assume this is using both cameras. So yeah, so you can see the right camera, which is the wide angle, is the back, and the left camera, which is the narrow one, is the middle. So that's, and then you can do some things like turn the back one to black and white, vignette, fisheye, etc. So let's go back to auto. And then let's get down to the details here. Photo size, you can choose multiple sizes, 4/3, etc. So if you really want the full resolution of the camera, you should actually be doing 4/3. What I'm guessing is in this widescreen, it's actually just chopping off the sides and zooming it out. So if you do this one though, you'll notice now that we go back, the full viewfinder is now not the full screen, and actually the tops and bottoms are chopped off. So really what that means is in the widescreen one, basically the sides are chopped off and it's just scaled up. So I would actually rather take pictures like this, even if it doesn't look as good in the viewfinder on the camera. But there's also one other cool feature. Since this is a super wide screen, they decided to come up with a good way of using that extra space. So there's a way to do your camera roll on your screen. So in this case, you can see the last photos that we've taken here at the top of the screen while I'm still able to take new photos. So if I want to compare to something, or take a series of photos, like if I'm taking pages from a book and I want to make sure I've taken all the pages, that's actually kind of useful. So let's see. So you can see, yeah, here's my narrow one, here's my wide one, just as an example. Let's see what else we can edit. So there's obviously HDR, you can turn it auto on off, timer, there's a stabilization for video, geotagging, etc., etc. This is the one that we always like, which is the voice control. So if you have the camera on a tripod or some other kind of mount and you want to take a group picture, this can automatically do that with voice control. So let's give it a try. So you can either say cheese, smile, kimchi, whiskey, kimchi, LG. So overall, pretty good. Picture quality looks pretty good. Obviously, within the gallery, there's a way to edit and mark up all your photos. And then they also have this built-in sharing kind of pull out here. Okay, so there you have it. That's our quick walkthrough of the LG G6. Overall, we like the phone a lot. The screen's pretty good. The cameras are very good. Design is good, nice and sturdy. So good job by LG. Definitely worth checking this phone out if you get a chance. If you do own this phone and you're looking for information on how to get the most out of it, please check out our other LG G6 how-to videos here on HowTechs. See you next time. Bye. Pry it out with your fingertips and pull, and here we are. So this is actually a dual tray, and it can fit